Hope you are well. I hope you're doing good. Welcome in if you're new, and welcome home if you're returning. And now we're going to talk about Jay Slater. But just to mention, there's a gentleman named John George Harding that I just did a video that's missing after leaving Belfast, where he's from, and heading to Spain. And it gets messy, and we're going to start working on that case. So I invite you to check that out after this video if you haven't already. And his family is begging for help. All right, so let's talk about Jay Slater. What do you want to talk about today? Because we have new footage that Wax Unfiltered shared with us, at least it's the first I've heard, that wasn't released from Isla and Brad's interview to the public. And in that, Brad shares a few things that suggest it could have happened the day before. What could have happened? Masca. Just because Jay's found, or they allege that Jay was found in Masca, doesn't mean that he was there only Sunday. Could be that he was there Saturday too. Or it could mean that he went to Masca and left there absolutely fine. But one thing I will tell you, these kids are the ones I'm focused on. Brandon, Brad, and even Lucy. They're lying. And the big question is, why are they lying? Now, there was a recent podcast by the Central Club, and it was a good interview. I did see a little bit of the point about, with Ayub doing all this talking, he would be a psychopath to be the one that did the crime. And one thing I did notice, and I brought it up several times already, is that Ayub keeps saying, okay, my two boys were so close in age when they were growing up. And we'll call it the Cookie crime, right? Cookie goes missing and mom's got to find out which boy did it. And there was always a way one could tell on the other without grassing, right? And that would be to say, well, even if I know who did it, I might not really say, because I'm not, I didn't do anything, so I'm just going to stay out of it. Because, I don't want to point fingers at anyone. And I knew at the young age that they were at, that meant that they didn't want to tell that the brother did it. And the brother's response was always very quiet, trying to stay out of it, trying to give eye, to the other brother and be really outside, UK. So we're going to dig into this a little bit, and I'm going to share with you that I'm actually going to share what Wax shared, a little bit of our Wax Unfiltered. Hey, Prime Candy, how are you? Let me say hello to my beautiful mods real quick. We are a live broadcast. Hello, Debbie Gazzardo, Rage Not That Rage, my beautiful Jennifer Swain. Thank you, ladies, so incredibly much for jumping over and modding. And it's a busy day, isn't it? Hey, Dark Angel Holes, how are you? Good to see you, my lovely Lou. Hey, Nikki UK, good to see you. Just grabbing some names here. Shona, hello, lovely. Moocat Ponky 2. All right, you guys. I'm just making sure I catch all my members as well. Hey, Allison, Jules, Gians of Views. Check out her channel. Hey, Julie Wells. Hello, lovely. Okay. Hey, Andrea Garforth. Hello, love. Ocean Deep 24. I could do this all day. There's a lot of you here. Let's get rolling. So, in the Jay Slater case, if you're new, which maybe you are, I'm just going to give you a real quick summary. The kid's 19. He goes to Tenerife, and he's on vacation. He's from the UK. He's from Lancashire. He goes over to Spain, to Tenerife, the Canary Islands, for a 3-day music fest. We're still trying to figure out what he did on what days. We have no CCTV footage. There are some questions. Did he really leave with two guys that are considered or allegedly Ayub and Rocky, and just by himself at 19 leave with 34-year-old men or older that are ex-convicts of running rugs, right? And go up to the mountains alone with them at 6 in the morning and then just get found randomly at the bottom of a cliff? Or did something happen at the club and he never even made it up to that place? Or did he go up to that place the day before, then come back because he talked to his mom on Sunday? She spoke to him. Debbie Duncan is Jay Slater's mom. She's done several interviews with the son. And in that, the kids that were with Jay are Brad, Lucy, and Brandon. And Brandon, you ain't never heard anything from him. He never looked for Jay. He never tried to find Jay. He never did anything on social media to try to help Jay. He never did rest in peace Jay. He went to the funeral, but he wasn't allowed at the wake by the family. That should speak volumes. And I think it does. Because, you know, one thing that was brought up on that Central Club, the Central Club podcast, that I found very interesting was the fact that if you had committed the crime yourself, would you be out here speaking for 2 hours? I don't think so. You would hide. And what did Brandon do? Haji hid. Indeed. Haji hid. And that's the sad thing. Let me get chat pinned up. Prime Candy, welcome to our Starlights. You'll be able to check out a couple of my behind-the-scenes videos, mainly with my dogs or walking. Or we have snow now. Now we don't. We had snow when I did the video 2 days ago. I have no snow now. It all melted. We have rain. It's a weird December. Hey, Steve the Cockney, how are you, lovely? Good to see you. Hey, Maggie, did anyone establish if Debbie spoke to Jay verbally or by text? That's all we have. She said she spoke to Jay. And I really don't have a better answer. Wish I did. That would help a lot. Marion Lovell is making the claim Brandon is locked up. How so? How would you know that? Share with us. So, Marion Lovell is saying Brandon is locked up. I know he changed his homeboy page, right? To like some weird name. You have Fog Jan? Frankie Madden, hello, welcome to A Level of True Crime. I believe Ayub knows exactly what happened and just keeping quiet about those involved. I do too. I do too. That's what I believe. Kath Neary says, why is Brandon a protected golden boy? That's a great question, right? Hey, Susie Watson, you did make a live. Good to see ya. Hey, Vicki Garrett. Hello, love. Hello. Jan's Views says, I believe Brandon is being sheltered. Love from London Town. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Colin Waterman says, I'm thinking the vid with Rocky sleep in the car was the Saturday, and Sunday is when Jay went missing if Jay had spoken to his mom. That's where I am, Colin. That's where I am. So, we've all witnessed the Papagayo Sunday videos. Now, here's the thing. Everything I'm seeing that's showing us that it is at Papagayo's is actually showing up to be at the same time as the rave on Sunday. That's the only time the rave was happening, the energy rave. So we see Jay completely off his face. The only videos that we're getting from Ayub appear to be like at Sugar Reefs, which is most likely where Jay's not off his face. He's not sweaty. He's not hungover. I mean, I'm not just talking hungover. I'm talking about literally hanging over his body or leaning way back out of it. All of this that happens at Papagayo's is all later. Just logically, common sense here is the last videos. So everything Ayub's shown us appears to have happened before Jay is off his face, including that little Rocky video. So I was delighted, and I will be sharing it on our next live together on Jay. The full video, which is like 30 seconds of Rocky walking all in white except for a little bit of gray on the top of the outfit and a little tiny bit of gray on the, I think it's the lining of the inside of the pant leg. Otherwise, it's all white. Even the shoes is white. I got the full video that I said I had, and then I found out I didn't have it, and I hadn't saved it, and then Ayub went private on his media sources. He made them all private, and I couldn't get it. Well, our 1111 True Crimers never fail me, and somebody grabbed it. So we have it, and we will be showing that on our next live. Who was the girl he said he was waiting for to finish work, and where does she work? Do we know? No, Ocean Deep 24. It could be a figment of his imagination. I mean, seriously. Colin Waterman says it also matches up to the words Henny to the head and Jay with the Hennessy bottle. Both definitely same night, in my opinion. It's after these Jay had something done to him. All right, let's jump over. Let's get chat off the board. We're going to switch over to one of our favorite people. Hello, Wax Unfiltered. Hats off to you, my love. All right, are you ready, you guys? Let's get him just a little bigger there. And let's listen to Brad. Are you ready? So I wanted you to listen to what Wax is saying, because we're on the same page. This very well in Masca could have all happened the day before.
You see in a minute, because there's things that they say that make sense of the missing time. Also going to confirm in this that Rocky doesn't even give a statement. Even though he claimed he did, Ayub slips up. We're going to prove that as well. Big up World Entertainment. I think there's some sort of AI channel.
Okay, hold on.
His boy was actually talking to the guys back in the UK, letting them know how his holiday's going. Message
it's all good stuff. Go watch his channel. I'm trying to find. I thought I had the part nailed.
Around 12 before Lucy got there. That could have been Brandon letting friends know back in Lancashire that something to this where Brad confirmed. Let's check this.
Okay. I mean, everything he says is interesting.
A bit more clarity on the missing time. Let's check this out.
We've split up, but he's been with people we already knew.
We've split up, and he's been with people he already knew. So this is Brad's way, 2 weeks later, confirming that they knew Ayub and that.
Okay, hold on. Brad is alleging that they split up right there. Let me go to Jay's file. I thought I had it on the screen, but I don't. But I'm going to grab you something important. It's a little post. Give me 2 seconds, lovely. It takes like 2 minutes to download the file. There was a little post talking about them splitting up that Ayub made, and he posted. And I want to show it to you. So, let me see. We're going to have to open PowerPoint. Like I said, I thought I had it all figured out, but I don't. Okay, let's go like this. And let's get PowerPoint on the board. And, yeah. Hold on, you guys. It takes just a minute to get this rolling. But it'll be worth it, I promise. All right, this is from Quack Quack's homepage. Okay? Let me see if you're seeing it. Yeah, you are. And he said some went off to get balloons, some went home. He was by himself saying, bro, I can't get in the apartment. Can I roll with you lot? Simple as that. Nothing weird, nothing gay, nothing shady, LOL. So when we look at that, that's from Quack Quack stating some went off to get balloons. We know what they're talking about. We know what kind of balloons they're going to get. And I've never really dug it because I didn't have two corroborating stories. But if you listen to what Brad is saying,
It's a bit more clarity on the missing time. Let's check this out.
We've split up, but he's been with people we already knew.
We've split up and he's been with people he already knew. So this is Brad's way 2 weeks later confirming that they knew Ayub and that. But he says they split up. They split up. Where did you go and how did you split up? Allegedly, Jay lost the key and then Ayub come back to clean it up by saying his friend, referring to Brad, took Jay's key for the apartment. So how is Brad now making these claims? Let's hear that again.
We've split up, but he's been with people.
We've split up, but he's been with people we knew. How did you split up? And did you take the key from him? Or did he lose the key? This is a part
That's
of the
a
story
great
that's
question.
extremely blurry, where Jay goes to the
Hey,
Airbnb.
Cara. Hi, Kay.
And when Jay leaves the Airbnb, they're the two parts that
Hey,
have never
Mickey
made sense
UK.
to me, and I don't think anyone has made sense of those parts. We're still waiting for Mark Williams Thomas to come out and tell us why Jay left the Airbnb in the manner that he did. But Brad's given us something here.
Mark William Thomas, paging Mark Williams Thomas, can you please come out and not be a can of beef? Can you not let everybody down? I promise you, if you don't come out and tell us what you promised you would tell us, which is why Jay was scared and running for his life from Masca, if you don't tell us that, we're never going to trust another word you ever say in your God-forsaken life.
Here, let's listen to this again.
People we already knew. He's ended up back with them on his own. I don't know how, what's going on there, like, but
He's ended up back with them. At that moment, you could be like, well, he means hanging out with them again. Or had they gone to Masca before on Saturday? And did Brad know that? Is he saying that Jay went back, he's ended up with them, back with them again, meaning that Jay ended up back in Masca? You feel me? There's two sides to this coin. Back with them could mean just physically, hanging out with them again in the club. But that could be the way that Brad talks. Oh, he ended up going back with them. Is that meaning a location, though? Is it literally a location?
So did you hear that? He said he's ended up back there, and I don't know how that's happened. Let's take that back again.
split up, but he's been with people we already knew. He's ended up back with them on his own. I don't know how, what's going on.
The way he says it, he's ended back with them, like it's a finality to it. It's an emphasis on the word back. Like almost disgust. Like he's ended up back with them. Kind of like if you had separated something from the icky stuff and you're like, oh, it went back. There's something there. And yeah, I could be reading too much into it, but at the same time, I don't think so. Let's listen again.
But Brad's given us something here. Let's listen to this
I
again.
agree.
People we already knew. He's ended up back with them on his own. I don't know how, what's going on there, like, but
So did you hear that? He said he's ended up back there, and I don't know how that's happened. Let's take that back again.
split up, but he's been with people we already knew. He's ended up back with them on his own. I don't know how, what's going on there, like, but
So Brad seems confused. He's basically playing confused at this point. I don't know why Jay is with those guys. Why is Jay with them? What's happened there? That's what he's basically saying.
Ocean Deep 24, he said He's not sure what went on there. Yep. Hey, Mark Mulling, good to see you. Hi, HF. Welcome back to both of you. Marion Lovell, Mark Thomas knows that Brandon has been charged. He is not allowed to say, but I just did because I heard 34 minutes of a conversation. Well, Marion Lovely, unless you're going to send it to me for all of us to hear, we're just going to take it with a pinch of salt. We've had enough people make enough claims in this case and not back it up that we can't just take your word for it. Sorry, even if you're like straight up heard 30-minute conversation of Brandon being busted, that's between you and your belief system. But once we have it and we can look at it and there's something tangible to hold on to, we'll give it possibly some time to marinate and see what we think of it. This is what we want to know. HF. Marion, where did you see that? Right, David. I think David Matheson gets a gold star. And we're still going to use a Christmas goat until 2025. Oh, you only got one scream. That's weird. Usually it screams twice. You get a gold star. That's our mascot, by the way, from Peppermint Patty. One of our 11 grammars. And when something's just absolutely nailed it, right? And that's the thing. Brad is forgetting script. I agree. Sam R. So they were all with them. Then he was with them. Right. That's the transfer. Isla says Brad's eyes looked dark and bruised. Brandon allegedly looked rough from people back home. Maybe a scuffle occurred. Well, we all know that they like to do that bare knuckle stuff, right? I mean, Brad's been in boxing for a majority part of his life, like legitimate. Ocean Deep 24, it sounds like there was an argument of some sort because he doesn't know what went on there. Now remember, whether you want to admit it or not, forgive me, there was a fight that happened outside of Papagayo's. Right at the time that Lucy's claiming, they all left. We got bruised up kids, so that. Maybe it wasn't over an AP watch. Maybe that was the cover story. Maybe the fight was amongst the Brady Bunch here. Frankie Nadine or Nadine says maybe Brad had plans to spend time at his and Jay's apartment with a female he had met, hence why Jay went with Ayub. I think that would have just been said. I don't think there'd be a reason to hide that, but thank you for sharing your opinion. All right, Marion, that would be fantastic. Share it with me. I'll listen to it if I find it credible, and if it has, things that show me date, time, that it actually is Haji, we'll go over it. I would greatly appreciate that. Ocean Deep 24 feels he's definitely panicking. He's silver cent. Marion, say again, has Brad been charged? TBC01 says, in my opinion, Brandon dished out the most punishment for Ayub, but went too far and killed him, hence why he's quiet. Oh my gracious. So, there's this feeling of Ayub when he's on that live with Rocky, and he says, you just don't know about last night. And then he even tells Rocky, those don't know about last night. And we all ask him, what about last night? He's like, oh, it was mad, bro. Totally mad. We had rockets. All lies. All lies. Because there's no rockets that are going to want to come up to your showerless B&B. That's a skank hole. So you ain't partying with no babes up there. So no, we don't know about the night before. But I would take a guess Rocky crashed out in the car just like he said. I would guess that it was Saturday night that Jay came up there. Maybe, and I don't normally do this, but I'm just going to say I heard 3 voices. Now, if Rocky's asleep, that means you and Jay, and then there's someone else. Is it Brandon? Is it Brad? I think it's Brandon. Maybe it's Brad. I don't know. But let's just go with Brandon for a minute since he's the one that don't want to talk about anything. Let's just say, what if Brandon on Saturday stole a watch, right? And they had to get out of Dodge because they got caught and they ran off. So maybe that little scuffle at Papagayo's was the catch-up. So on Saturday night, they're like, holy shite, I can't go back to my apartment. The thugs are looking for me because of you, Brandon. You fucking stole a watch, right? Sorry about swearing. All right. Now, Brandon's freaking out because they're after him and Jay. So him and Brandon are like, Brandon's like, hold on. Let me get my boy Quack Quack. He'll help us. Quack Quack claims that he's a helper, right? You'd help somebody out, wouldn't you? So he's going to stay as close to the truth as he can. So maybe he thinks he's helping him out. Maybe Ayub lets Brandon and Jay come up there. And maybe they aren't texting that night. Maybe Jay's not sending Snapchats to Brandon and all this. Maybe he's hearing Brandon and Jay talk about the watch they stole and Brandon telling him, we are in trouble. They are looking for us. All right. Now, if Brandon has to solve this because he lives, well, he has family that lives in Tenerife and he's not going to fly home and never come back. He's going to be hanging out there. So in this theory that, threw spaghetti at the wall to see if it sticks, is it possible, I'm just asking, like wild theory here, that Brandon decides, well, hell's bells, they're coming after until they get the guy. And unless I throw him under the bus, we're in trouble. Think about the lady Ophelia or whatever, Ophelia, the daughter, that said that they came there for a couple days and basically stayed in the domicile. We never see Jay out that Saturday night at the place where we see Haji out. Like, is it getting blamed on Jay? And in that, when Brandon crossed the line and put all the blame on Jay, did he fake that Snapchat, not on Jay's phone, but on his own phone of Jay, like took a picture of it? And then, after the fact, send it to everybody to make it blame on Jay. Jay's the one that stole the watch, but it really be Haji that stole the watch. And then in the scenario, Haji is going to leave Jay behind. And the bad guys catch up with Jay and what have you. I'm just asking. I'm wondering. Because why would Haji hide himself? What happened the day before? Were they hiding in Masca? Is that why Jay was running for his life? Is that why there were 2 kitchen knives? Blah, 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 blah. Is that why Jay was shiting himself when the buzzer went off, when Ayub said that they wanted him to move his car? Or was he shiting himself because that was the pickup? Ayub was staying out of it. Brandon took off and left Jay and then turned him in like, maybe he sent that Snapchat saying, here's where he is. Like maybe it was Brandon before he left at 7:30 in the morning on Sunday. Maybe he was like, yeah, this is where he is. Let's take a picture of my feet here and the cigarette, this patio. There you go. See what I'm saying? He may have had Jay's phone. Maybe he beat Jay up, took the phone, and got the hell out of there. Maybe that was his ride out of there. Maybe the bad guys came to get Jay. Could that be why Jay was freaking out, according to Ayub, that he almost shite himself on that buzzer? That's starting to make a lot more sense. I don't know. What do you guys think? Bespoke says, in my opinion, Ayub didn't stay in the Airbnb. Neither did Rocky. I know it doesn't seem like it was a real Airbnb, does it? Hey, Nisi, welcome back. There is a third voice melody. The last 2 seconds of the video, it shows him. And it's not Ayub or Rocky. It's a black guy. I would have to really look at that. Send me that little part, Nisi, so I don't have to do the digging, please. I would love to look at that. And you know my email. How are we doing on time? We're doing good. Mick Brilliant, honey, I don't use spirit boxes and I don't listen to them. I believe that they do work and I don't believe they work proper. I experimented for a very short, like, week or 2 on a spirit box, and it was disturbing. That's not good spirits always. I'm just saying, I don't do anything with that spirit box for me. Nothing against anybody that does. Sam R., that was said, Andy, that there was a commotion. Andy said there was a commotion. Andy Boy 1888. It was said someone in the calf of Ophelia said they heard a commotion, but according to Ayub, they went straight to bed. Yeah, there was somebody that was talking about being a neighbor and hearing a commotion over at Ayub's cabin, as he called it, or cottage. Jenny Bill is here. Hi, lovely. Good to see you. Good to see you. Kirk 99. Did Lucy accuse Ayub of eating, quote, sour grapes in the WhatsApp screenshot? What does that mean? Eating sour grapes. I don't know what that means. David Matheson says, Brendan has not been able to thumb a lift since Mama D put out that video. Podgy, right? Podgy sees the way they turn on each other. He flew home real quick with Ayub. They aren't turning on each other. You've never heard Lucy throw Brad under the bus or Brad throw Lucy under the bus. They ain't turning on each other. They've made a pact. Something happened, and I the way I feel it, truthfully, is that Brandon was the one that caused this to happen because he went in hiding. He never looked for... You don't look for something when you know where it is or if you're the reason that caused it. Yeah? So Brandon, to me, is the most suspicious out of the kids. I can see where Lucy is in a position where she can't grass, because if she grasses, it's really going to affect her job, right? Just saying. She's a rug runner. She's a mule, in my humble opinion. And so she ain't going to grass. But she's going to do everything in her power to find Jay if she's not responsible. I don't see Lucy being the kind of gal that wants to go up to the mesa up there in Masca and just be like, oh yeah, lovely place. Ajay, couldn't you found something with some running water? There's no water. Right? Lucy also allegedly confronted Ayub. They had a tiff. So I feel like there was something between Brandon and Jay. Brad seems amiss. Like every rumor we hear, Brad's like put off somewhere else. Where was Brad? Is he just a scared little shite keeping his mouth shut? Because the one that's not doing the talking, the quiet one, the one that didn't get any attention, is Brandon. And if the Central Club podcast did anything, it was really to highlight how much Brandon got away with. Not hunting for his friend, not talking to anybody. I don't know. Hey, Bespokes, good to see you. You said, in my opinion, Ayub likes luxury. He stayed somewhere else with Rocky. From the photos, and no one in their right mind would stay at that B&B unless you might be a young kid like Brandon, who wears the same shirt on June 9th and maybe every day until your friend goes missing. Same shirt. You don't need to shower. I don't know. I don't know. But Dodgy Haji's in the same damn shirt on June 9th as he is on June 15th and 16th. Same shirt. He might not care if there's no hot water. He might be a little bit of a messy little slobby kid. I mean, he doesn't even know to close his mouth. He's an observer. He's not helping Jay. He's observing. He's standing around. Every video of Brandon, he literally has his mouth wide open. He's like a guppy. What's going on? What is he doing there? He's not raving. He's not like listening to the music, doing videos. Nope. His head is on a dial. Spin it. Spin it. Look over here. Have I looked over there for a while? No. Maybe say something. Nod. Spin it. You can't even tell what he's focused on. He's watching the room. He's watching the room. Jenny Bill. Love you long time, Danny Lovey. 38 months. My longest long-term starlight. My beautiful Jenny Bill. Thank you, my beautiful. Thank you for your loyalty, for your support, for your kindness. And I know Jenny Bill's world is filled, very busy. And then you have always made time for me. Thank you, love. I greatly appreciate you. Jules says, Jay, maybe Jay hurt someone. He was taking a Masca for his own safety. That's a thought, too. Brenda Morris Evans. Hold on, let me get this on the board. Thank you so much. Let me move it. Where is it? There we go. Brenda Morris Evans, thank you for the $1.99 snooper chat. Thank you kindly. I really do appreciate that. See if I can hit the little heart from here. There we go. There we go. I got it. Yeah, Jennyville started with me in the very day I created members. She was our first member ever, and she's never left me. I find that incredible. Mark Mullen says, Mama from the start, Brendan's mom said he was in contact with the police helping them out. Yeah, well, if you go over to the case that we're just starting to cover, John George Hardy, we have this woman named Madison that is claiming that she's working with police, and family are like, she ain't never contacted the police. So people can lie, especially to protect their own children. See what I'm saying? Chaz, thank you, lovely. How kind of you. You gifted 5 memberships. Welcome to my beautiful starlights. Let me catch up on chat and see who was gifted. Silver Scent, Sam R, Nisi H, Ocean Deep 24, and Peace and Love Michelle. Thank you all for joining us on Starlights, and give a shout out to our beautiful Chaz. Thank you, lovely. Thank you very much. Skate Energy says, is Brandon staying in that horrible place to mind whatever stuff they keep there? That's a good question. A bit of a do. Says, anyone remember early on when Ayub was alive and he said if there was an issue with Jay or any of his mates, it was none of his business. Yes, I do. And that he wouldn't stop anyone in it. Very odd. Was odd. And we're going to leave it with that. I think Ayub has guilty knowledge. I think he knows what went down, but he's not going to grasp. That's what he was telling us. That's why they wanted you to get to know him, because he can't. Because if he grasses in the world he's in, he's done for. And so instead, he's going to stay in his own lane, which doesn't help us out. But that leaves us looking at these 3 kids, right? Lucy, I have to say, she was trying to get help, right? I'm not sure how involved she is. Brad saying that he went back with them. Yeah, there's something here. And I think it has to with Brandon. Though again, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. It happens. All right, my lovely Luz. Oh my gosh. Boy, you got good timing, Jennyville. I was just about to jump. All right, before we jump, we're going to jump over to my second channel very soon. I want to say thank you kindly, Jennyville. Thank you humbly for the gift of 5 memberships. That is such a sweet thing to do. Let's see who we have. Thank you, Jenny Jen. We have a bit of a do. We have Lou, Scottish Pixie, Kitty, and Maggie. Welcome to our Starlights. We have 10 new Starlights already. Wow, that's an impressive day we're going to have. And I am doing more behind the scenes stuff because we're getting more time on my hands as I work through my day and getting used to my schedule a little bit, and dropping more behind the scenes things for our beautiful Starlights to thank you. And like I said, it's not case related. It's me walking my dog or something like that. Thank you for following me on Jay's Case. If you would like to continue an open family discussion, please join me on my second channel, 1111 Crime Story, where I'm going to turn the tables and I'm going to let you be the one that tells me what you think now. Okay? So hit the like button over here. That's how I get paid, is you determine how much I get paid. That's the truth. Creators rely on you, as do I, to show that you are supportive of the channel by hitting like and subscribe. The like button tells my people, the advertisers, that I did a good enough job, that they'll bid me up, right? They'll bid me up. I love you guys. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate you. And let's pray for true justice for Jay. Truly, he deserves that.